Hi guys, welcome to Ages Paintings. Today I'm working on a very special piece. It's going to be another tree swipe. This is a commission painting for a very lovely client. She saw some of my tree swipes. If you haven't seen them, they are on my channel, and she loved them. She wanted me to make a world tree with that technique, but because world tree has the tree on top, and then it has the roots as big as the tree. So I wanted to do something different, so she would get the same effect on top where the tree is, but on the bottom I wanted the roots to be a little bit darker than the tree, and all the underground should be a bit darker. So I decided to do the background in two different colors. So for this I'm using white on top. So this is white flow acrylic by Artist Loft, and I mixed it with Floetrol and water. And the ratio is for the paint is let's say if you're doing it by weight, I do it by weight. So 40 grams of paint. For that I put in 80 grams of Floetrol and 30 grams of water. You want your paint to be fairly thin and easy to spread, so when I do the swipe it's really easy to move on top. So I keep the ratio for all my paints the same. So the white is on top. I just try to make sure that the layer is not too thick or not too thin. If it's too thin, you won't be able to swipe on top of it, because once you swipe all the paint is going to swipe with it, and you won't be able to get that effect, that the starry effect that you saw in my other paintings. And if it's too thick, the white will actually come up a bit more, and then those white dots or speckles are going to be bigger, and they're going to eat up more paint. So that's why it's very important that you keep your paint fairly thin, and the layer has to be thick enough but not too thick. That's why I take my time when I'm doing the background. Usually when I share my videos, I don't usually share this part of the painting process because it takes long, but I really wanted to show it to you at this time, because I've received so many questions on how to do this exactly, and how to get the effect after you're done with the swiping. And I think it's very, very important that the background is done right. If your background is done right, you will get really good results. So for this painting, it's going to be a world tree, but I wanted the top, of course, to be bigger. This is, by the way, is 20 by 20 canvas. I kind of divided it in like 1/3 part is for the bottom, and then 2/3 is for the top, for the tree. So now I'm working on the bottom part. I know in this video it kind of looks like it's black, but it's actually dark gray. So the client wanted a world tree in cool colors. That's all she told me. She said she wants it in cool colors, and she wants a world tree, and everything else she left on me. She's like, you decide how you want to do it, how you want to approach it. So this is what I decided. It's dark gray, but it's kind of like a cool gray. So I mixed it with blue and kind of a little bit of green, and black and white. Mostly it's like blues and aqua and like different those colors, until I got the exact gray that I wanted. I don't have the exact ratios because I just kept mixing them until I like how it looked. Now you will see the real color of it when I go close to it afterward, like when the painting is done, and I'm going to show you the close-up, and then you will be able to see the real color of it. So again, I'm making sure that it's spread evenly and it's everywhere all around. Just take your time, make sure that you mix the paint really, really well. And if there are a lot of bubbles, maybe mix it a little bit beforehand and let it sit there, and then once you're ready to go, just stir it a little bit, and then just start putting it on the canvas. Okay, so now I'm done spreading all the paint for the background, and I'm taking my blowtorch and I'm going to torch all the bubbles out. I'm making sure to go all around. You on one spot you might have to go like 2 or 3 times to get all those bubbles out, and you'll be able to see that those bubbles are getting out. it's very important to do it at this point, because if you don't do it at this point and you put on your colors and you swipe later on, the bubbles are going to pop, and then you won't be able to keep the painting that's how you made it. It will change, and we don't want those bubbles to pop afterwards. So that's why just you see, I'm taking my time. I go over it, one time, two times, three times, until I see that there are no more bubbles left that I can see. Okay, now I'm ready to put on my paints, my colored paints. I'm putting it in the middle because I'll be swiping from middle outwards on both sides, and I'm taking my time to put it on because this is a fairly big canvas. It's 20 by 20. For a smaller canvas, I usually put in a small amount of paint, but because this is such a big canvas, I'm putting more paint on, and I wanted this blue to really show. That's why I'm putting kind of like double that I usually would. And this is going to be in cool colors, so I'm using different blues and aqua and a little bit of greens to kind of like stay with all the cool colors. Again, all of these paints are mixed with Floetrol and water, and the ratio is for the paints is 40 grams of paint, 80 grams of Floetrol, and 30 grams of water. This is Canela Sirocco's recipe. She uses it for her Dutch pours, and that's what I mix it for too. But when I was trying to do different, I was checking different ratios for my swipes. This worked really well for me, so I kind of stuck with it. I'm also using a little bit of purple because I think it looks really nice with blues, so I putting that on a little bit too. So I'm putting the paints in the same line, one over another, and by the time I get to the next one, the paint before it kind of spreads, and then you're able to see it in the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. Your line could be a little bit of wiggly, that's fine, it doesn't really matter. Now I'm putting in my metallic, and this is silver. Now I wanted to keep the silver only on the top, so there is a little bit of distinction between the tree and the roots. So I put silver on top, and then I'm putting bronze on the bottom, just the bottom part, and then I'm going to put gold all over. These metallic shades look really nice when you swipe. They shine in between here and there, and it kind of like bring the painting to life. I found that if I sandwich the metallics in between other colors, it gives more cells. The last color goes on, that's I'm going to use to swipe. This is black, so I'm going to be using black for this painting. Now before I swipe the paint, I'm going to make sure that there are no more bubbles in the paint. So I'm going to take my torch and I'm going to blow all the bubbles. Make sure to go back and forth in slow motion to get all the bubbles out. It might take a couple of tries to do that. For swiping, I use the cardboard that comes with the canvas. I just take it and I cut it into small pieces, different pieces. Like there could be some small ones, medium, big ones. So I use them however it's needed. So now I'm starting right in the middle from the black and very slowly swiping it all the way to the end. So now you're going to overlap where it's not straight. You see, every time you swipe, different colors will show up. That's what makes it look so nice. You can already see those the white paint popping up. Take your time when you're doing this part, because if you make a mistake here, it's not that easy to fix it. you have to kind of take everything off and then do it again if you want to fix it to make the lines all straight. Now you see there was a little part that was left in between. When I try to swipe it again, it doesn't give you the exact same effect as it does with the other one. But for now, I'm just going to leave it alone, and I'm going to see if I need to work on it a little bit more later on when I'm working on the tree. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm right-handed, so doing it on the left side, it takes a little bit more effort to want to make it straight. I could come and stand on the other side of the table and do it from there, but because I'm standing on that direction when I'm swiping, the lines work, kind of go in a way. If I try to come from the other side, they're going to go in a different direction and they're not going to look the same. I just added a little bit more black because I realized that the black was not enough for swiping. So again, I'm going to go ahead and do it very slowly. The purpose here is not to have the exact same on both sides. You want it to be a little bit different, but it should be kind of matching a little bit too. So this is the real time I'm showing you. This is how slow I'm going. I did not manipulate this video at all. I did not fast forward it. Okay, so now we are done with swiping the background. Now it's time to start the tree. So for the tree, I'm using a smaller piece of cardboard. And I'm starting in the middle with tree trunk is starting. You just want to go really slow, and you want to make sure that you put a little bit of pressure on it, so you're swiping the top paint but you're not going all the way to the bottom as much. Here and there you will see the background showing, like the white paint showing. That looks really cool, but you want to be able to see all these other colors in the trunk as well. So I start from one side and I take it all the way up, and then I do it the same thing on the other side. So the tree kind of looks balanced, but it's not like mimicking its on both directions. It's not mimicking each other. So all those stems, they are unique. So if you put a little bit of more pressure, you get that, how it looks really white with that branch, and some other branch you can see they look more bluish. So at some parts I try to put more pressure on, and the other direction I put less pressure, so it all of those branches have their own uniqueness. So kind of like wiggle my hand when I'm going, and when I get to the end of it, I pick up the cardboard a little bit so the end is more pointy. And you can look at the background, it's evolving, how those white speckles, as long as when the painting sits there for a couple of minutes, you will see more of those speckles come up. I'm going to keep working on the branches a little bit, and then I'm going to start working on the bottom part, on the roots. Once I have an idea of how the tree is going to look, I'm going to go back and I'm going to add more branches to it. It's up to you how many branches you want to add. I wanted this tree to be fairly full on top and as much as on the bottom as well. Okay, so now time comes for the roots. So I'm doing the exact same thing what I did on top for the branches, but instead of going straight down as I went for the trunk up, I'm going sideways. So how the roots would go. You can see that they're not looking as light as the tree. They're a bit more darker, and that's how I wanted it. That's why I did the background color in dark gray, so you can make a clear distinction between the tree and the roots. Okay, so I'm gonna speed this part up a little bit, so you've got the idea how I'm doing this. So I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. I feel like the hardest part about these paintings is knowing when to stop. So now I'm going to put in a little bit of highlights on the roots, because I just want them to pop a little bit. So just very little highlight. I just pick up some paint from the top, and then I just kind of put it on one side of the root to give it a little bit of color on the top part of it. Okay, so I am finally done with it, and I absolutely love it. This is what I had in mind. I love how the tree looks, and the roots as well. Like, they really look nice. How they, like, my vision, I feel like it came true. I'm gonna bring the camera close and show you a close-up to it, and let me know how you like it. And if you do, please let me know by leaving a comment and liking the painting. You can share it too if you want. And yeah, as long as I'm there, I see it, I'm gonna go ahead and fiddle with it a little bit more. But let's look at the close-up now. And here we go. Let's start with the tree. See how colorful and beautiful it looks. Look at that trunk and the background. I absolutely love the background. Looks so nice with those white speckles. They kind of like look like stars. And I love how there is this transition between the top part of the painting and the bottom part of the painting. And I really love this gray roots. They look really nice with the rest of the painting. Please do let me know if you like this painting. Subscribe to my channel, like and share my videos, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.